All right, guys, this is like the second time I've shot this Q&A because you see this here. Listen, hear that? All right. I shot the whole thing. I imported the files on my computer, and the entire time my hair was brushing up against the microphone and made the entire thing unthinkably terrible to listen to. It just sounded like someone scratching on the microphone the whole time. So now I've had practice doing this Q&A. Let's do it again, all right? And keep my hair a bit tame this time. This is going to be about setbacks and starting and setbacks. Okay, so but first let's get to some easy questions. When will the pants be back in stock? Okay, so I sell Jujimufu pants. You guys have been asking me that. My dad gets a shitload of those emails every week. He does the order management for acrobatics. So if you're actually ordering product, you're going to be interfacing with my father. And the thing is that we ordered a crap load of them at the end of last year and sold out quicker than we thought we would. Now, the company that we get the pants made through makes stuff for REI, North Face, and other big name brands. So it's not like Cafe Press or Custom Ink, where it's just like, here, it's just like a template on something that everyone can make. These are like really uniquely crafted, and apparently our manufacturer really hates the product because they say it's really difficult to make because it's flat lock stitch and the square pattern in the back. They absolutely cannot stand it. So the turnaround time is about 4 to 6 months for any sort of order we make through them. So that's why they've been out of stock for quite a long time. It's because it's a very different product. But they're going to be here at the beginning of May and June. So make sure that you check back and get a pair before we sell out again, because I'm trying to prevent inventory problems again by buying more, but who knows, all right? Also, smelling salts are easier to manufacture, and we're going to have those again in a couple days, all right? So, this isn't a question, but I'm curious. Do you guys want a live feed? You guys want to do live feed? Would you be interested in that if I'm sitting there doing, kind of like live feed stuff? I don't know. If you're interested in that, let me know. Do you guys listen to live feeds? Do you guys actually check live feeds of other guys? What makes them good? What makes them bad? Can you guys give me some feedback or some pointers? I'd really appreciate that. Okay, so some questions from my recent videos I just picked through. This one's from Brainy Shy, and she asked me, do you think women can get into tricking? Yeah, well, absolutely. There's a lot of female tricksters, not nearly as many as male. I mean, it's a male-dominated activity for whatever reason, but the thing is that the female anatomy, the way the hips are made, they're not really conducive to a lot of the kicking type tricks in tricking, which makes female anatomy more it's better at things that are like traditional gymnastics, like round off, back handspring, all these full twist, front flips. Anything that's linear on this axis is not so good with anything on this axis that involves kicks or miss legs or really weird, difficult and awkward transitions. Now, that's not to say that's the reason why there aren't a lot of female tricksters. I think the reason why there's not a lot of them is because I have no idea. I have really no idea why there's not a lot of girl tricksters, but yeah, absolutely. They are out there, and you can do it too if you want. So another guy asked me, Fitness Infinity, he says, I love your videos. I've been around 7 years when you did some front and back flips, blah, blah, blah. Yeah, dude, that's awesome. That's awesome. But he asked me, can you give out tips or make a video how to start for those who want to enter acrobatics? Any kind of suggestion would be appreciated. So, okay. So I just did a video, tricking longevity workout, and the vlog centerpiece in that video where the session is sort of built around gave my #1 trick to people who want to get into tricking. And that's not to get into tricking so much, but just to pick a move and learn it, and that's it, okay? So, see, it's like gateway. It's like a gateway trick. You get one move, and then you can get another, and you can get another. And if you're trying to get into it, you're confused by so many different things. It's hard to be aggressive if you're confused. So it's easy if you just pick something that is meaningful to you and you just get it. So in order to get something, you just study the crap out of it, set up your schedule in a way that allows you to have time to actually practice it, and you work on it. And I've written a series of articles on acrobatics right here, click there. At the top of the screen, you can click the writings page, and at the very top of this page, there's about 10 articles or so on how to start tricking. Now, these are older writings, but they're still very relevant, and there's still things I believe in, and they're very congruent with my current beliefs on starting tricking. So what I recommend is, if you want to get into this, well, don't try to get into it. If you want to learn some of these things, and you just want to know where to start there. Now, look, I've made it a goal, and I haven't really talked much about it, but I want to write the book on tricking. Now, I have a lot of other projects going on, but when I say I want to write the book on tricking, I mean like everything I know about it, everything I think about it, all my experiences. I want to interview top tricksters. I want to write a book on tricking like I wrote a book on flexibility. Now, my flexibility ebook everyone likes it. All you guys have given me fucking awesome feedback. I'm very proud of it. It just feels good to have gotten my thoughts out on that subject, where it's just like, yep, this is my beliefs on this. This is what I know. This is what I feel. This is what's important. Here you go. Now, it took a long time to do that, so it's going to take just as long to do that for tricking, which is such a broad topic. But don't wait for that. Know that it's one of my goals, and check out those articles on acrobatics.com. Don't be afraid to read, okay? But thank you for your question, man. I mean, it's really fucking cool that you guys are interested in asking me questions. Speaking of which, ask me questions in this video. Comment below, because the reason why there wasn't a Q&A video turnaround sooner than this one was because I had to kind of I was like, okay, I want to do a Q&A video again. I had to pick out questions from odd videos here and there. Now, Juji, have you had a lot of injuries? Can you talk about them? How do you deal with them? Okay. And I want to thank this dude, Max Fivi. Dude, thank you for this reply. He just said, read that. And this is, he linked you to a writing that took me fucking forever to write. Like, it was a project I worked on for over a year. And it's a really fun read. It's written in an aphoristic writing style, sort of like Friedrich Nietzsche, where it's just like bullet points, and you can skip around the article. But I wrote this really long thing on injuries and setbacks, and I'm very proud of that writing. And so, yes, I've had a lot of injuries. How I deal with them is completely detailed in that writing. But I mean, for example, I've broken a bunch of digits tricking. I have sprained my ankle. I have ruptured a quad. Not a quad, a hamstring, but that wasn't tricking, that was deadlifting. Hey buddy, come here. Get up here, come here. Come here. There you go. There you go, good buddy. Yes, good buddy. And speaking of the digit thing, that was pretty funny. If you've ever broken a digit, especially the index finger. Now, I've broken my thumb, it didn't hurt that much, but when I broke this finger, that was the most painful injury I've ever had. The doctor told me there's just a lot of nerves in there for fine motor skill, and so you're gonna feel a lot. My God, that shit hurt. What happened was I went to open gym and started doing back handsprings was the first thing I started working on. And within 5 minutes, I did a back handspring, and I looked at it, and as my finger and my hand came over, my finger went that way, all right, as my hand planted the ground. I broke my finger within 5 minutes. I was in shock. I was in so much pain. Usually shock masks the pain for a little bit, but it immediately hurt like crap. And I wasn't all there in the head. I was gonna go home and get some painkillers, and I was asking the front desk people like, I just broke my finger, can I have a refund for my open gym? I've only been here for 5 minutes. They wouldn't refund me. They wouldn't refund me. I was like, I've only been here for 5 minutes. I just broke my finger. Basically, I paid to break my finger. They wouldn't refund me. I was like, fuck you. At least this finger's not broken, God, man, some gyms, man. Dude, I'm gonna open a gym one day, and I'm gonna tell you what, if you break your finger in my gym within the first 5 minutes of working out, of course you're gonna have signed a liability waiver, but damn, dude, I'm gonna give you some money and some painkillers, I'm not just gonna be like an asshole and be like, no, go home, Fuck, all right. Anyway, how do you deal with injuries? That article has a lot of things. Like, look, I can talk, it's work around an injury, not through an injury. So I do so many different things, and it's like when I rolled my ankle, sprained the crap out of it. It's the worst injury I've had was that sprained ankle. And what I did is I just worked on rings for the next 6 months. I picked something else because I could still do rings. My ankle has nothing to do with it almost, okay? So if you hurt yourself, always keep moving. The next day, figure out a way to work out, work on a new goal, and just keep moving forward, okay? Don't just sit there and stew over it. I still hurt myself, but I don't hurt myself as much because as I've gotten older, I've become more aware to the fact that it would be bad for business if I hurt myself, because this is my livelihood now, and if I hurt myself now, it's not just a setback, you know, like, oh boy, I can't work on my deadlift anymore, or my kicks or something. It's more like, oh boy, I probably can't make money anymore, and my family depends on it. So a lot of people might work out with me and be like, hey, you know, if you work out with me a little bit, you're going to find I'm a little bit cautious sometimes. Sometimes I'm not. I do some really stupid fucking shit. But, you know, I have very good gut intuition, and it's built up over time. The more I've gotten injured, the more I realize that every one of the injuries I've had, there was almost a warning sign every single time. The finger, I wasn't warmed up enough, and I was just starting to throw back handsprings quicker. The ruptured hamstring was a strange soreness in the back of the hamstring. Look, if you have soreness from doing bilateral exercises on just one side in a very specific spot, do not push it the next day. That's what blew it out. Was, you know, that was a warning. That was a strange warning sign I've never had before, and I just wanted to like fucking be a man and try to work through it. No, it's bad. The ankle I sprained, which is the worst injury I've had, and sort of changed the trajectory of my life in a way in terms of my training, my training choices. My peroneal muscles, my shins, all that crap was so fatigued, and I just kept trying this move, and on this plyo floor, and you know, for what it's worth, plyo floor is a lot more dangerous than grass. It allows just enough give for you for a joint or a ligament or something to start going in the wrong direction, and then you just hit rock bottom. I'm be more careful on plyometric floor if you're doing acrobatic moves, and part of that is because on grass you're a little bit more. There's a little bit more holdback because it's hard. It's harder ground, but also the harder ground doesn't allow a joint or something to start moving in the wrong direction before it just finally hits rock bottom. So be careful on that flooring. Okay, there's a lot of things, but read that article I wrote. It's fucking long, but it's gold. It's full of gold. Okay, so speaking on the topic of setbacks. This one's from an email, and it's from a friend. I'm not going to name his name because he doesn't know I'm doing this. But it was a good question, and I thought I'd cover it in a Q&A video. I think you guys are going to like this one, okay? Okay, so he says, I write you today because I want to get in touch with you again. The past year and a half has been hell for me. I had a motorcycle accident, hurt my shoulder, broke up with my girlfriend of 3 years, major financial and personal problems. All of these things made me fall in depression. Right now, I'm fed up with myself and want to change. You're one of the most wise friends I have, and also one of the most positive person I know, so I want to ask you for advice. Thank you. And he says, I want to get my shit together. I want to get in shape again. I want to stop depending on other people. I want to be financially stable again. Do you have any advice, general tips, or some experience you can share with me? He also says, I was under the impression that you had one article talking about aggressivity where you talked of how you need to be aggressive in order to get motivation and get shit done. I searched for it and didn't find it. Well, that was the article that I just talked about that the other guy linked to. So it's the article on setbacks and injuries. So that's what he was referencing. And this is an email from just like 2 days ago. I still got to get back with you, guy. But look, I'm answering your question in video, so it's even better, right? All right. So this question is, I'm going to tell you a story. Recently, my life turned around quite a bit. I quit my job in December. I had a really hard month in January, but I'll get to that in a second. And I became a pet owner for the first time. I'm moving to Charlotte, North Carolina, and so that's a big move for me. I'm going to be living in a really cool house now that's out in the middle of nowhere, so shit's going to get really crazy pretty soon since I have this privacy. And, you know, all these positive changes in my life, I mean, aside from those things, my workouts are going pretty good, my nutrition's on point. My taxes, I've learned a lot. All these things, my video frequency upload, if you notice in March, has pretty much been every other day. I got my shit together, all right? And the thing that did it was I got organized, okay? So organization has a lot of different meanings, but here's some examples of everyday life where it matters. First of all, you know, organize your fucking laundry, all right? If you can't find clothes, that's a problem. Your desktop icons on your computer. If your fucking desktop is full of icons and you're having to look for shit all the time, that's so much time you're wasting. Look, whenever I see someone with a desktop like that, that's sort of a warning sign that they don't have their shit together. when you do things in the kitchen, clean up after yourself. So, I mean, organization there's a lot to it, and the word is very rich in what it actually means to do the organizing act. But most of the time, you can solve almost any problem if you figure out a way to organize things differently, okay? So let's talk about me quitting my job. The only way I did that was, and I was stalling, I was thinking about doing it for years, but the thing that did it was I sat down one day and I budgeted everything. I went back and looked at bank statements from years ago and put it all in this fucking spreadsheet, and I built this picture of myself. I was able actually to see it. I organized it in a way where I looked at it and I was like, I can do this, okay? January was a bad month because even though after I did that and things were getting better, look, I'm like free, I can do whatever I want, but there's so many like just weird things that kind of came into play, and it was sort of like these to-do lists you drag day to day, these to-do list activities, and you start to get this low-grade guilt. All right, you start to feel guilty for not getting back with these people. You start to feel worried about it. This low-grade anxiety starts to build up of all these things you're not taking care of because they're in different places. They're in your email inbox. They're on different sticky notes. They're in your notebook. They're on little to-do list apps on your phone. Damn it! I thought I heard that ring. Don't disturb me while I do Q&A videos. Okay. All these things in different places, and all these things that you're going to get around to, these projects from months ago, these half-finished things, and you're just dragging them along, and after a while, you can't even make the most of any particular day you're in because you have all this shit that you're just carrying, this baggage, okay? And it built up to like a really high point in January for me. And I can't tell you, what exactly happened, but for me, I feel like a lot of people just sort of hit this rock bottom point of all this shit builds up before they just finally like blast out of it. Now, unfortunately, every time that happens, I think it's like a human nature thing. And every time it's happened to me, it's like, it hasn't been a point where it was like, I listened to some really fucking hard metal song and all of a sudden I just get a minute and a half of adrenaline and I just change everything. No, it doesn't happen that way. Usually that happens, I feel super angry about everything. I'm like, I want to take care of everything. I just sit back down on the couch after I like move something from one room to the other. Be wary of that. That's not the type of like kick in the pants you need. What you need to know is that you need to like sit down and like fucking think, I need to organize this shit. I need to put it in a spreadsheet. I need to pull it together. I need to not fucking move my butt from the chair. I need to put my feet on the floor and not move, okay? Yeah, look, I'm doing this Q&A video again because my fucking microphone was too close to my hair in the last one. It's getting into my workout. I was supposed to be working out right now. I'll just move it along. I'm gonna take care of it now. Otherwise, it's going to make me feel even worse. So I'm just going to take care of it. Don't like look at the clock like that so much. Like it's just all these things. It's just like organize them. Okay. And part of the organization problem people have is they don't create systems and they don't work clean. So what I mean by work clean is you go to the gym, you put your dirty clothes in your gym bag and your shaker bottle. Okay. And you leave it in there and it fucking rots. All right. You cook something in the kitchen and you leave all that shit on the table after you cook the meal. You work on a computer project, maybe editing a video or putting together some sort of paper for school. You have all these fucking files, JPEGs and shit all over your desktop and you just leave them there. All right, no, put that shit away. Move them, get them out of the way so that you have a clean surface to work on next time. Work clean. And I got this idea from this book. I was supposed to bring it back out here. Yeah. This is what I'm talking about. This book, Work Clean by Dan Charnas. It's the life-changing power of mise en place to organize your life, work, and mind. Okay, so it's basically like productivity tips through analogies of how chefs do their thing, like professional chefs. And the best chapter in the book is easily the chapter called Cleaning as You Go. And it's on like page 84, and let's see. Here's some things I underlined, okay? If you can't clean, you can't cook, all right? Rather, the act of cleaning spaces maintain an optimal state of mind for the cook. Thus, the most important notion about cleaning was when cooks were supposed to do it. All the time. They clean all the time. There's a cleaning reflex. The moment you stop cleaning, things spun out of control. You make a mess, you clean it now, you move on. So the real work of mise en place, which is mind your space, isn't being clean, but working clean. So there's a difference between being clean and working clean. What you want to do is cultivate the habit of working clean. As you do things, you clean up immediately. You're cleaning in the process of doing things. So the moment you get home from the gym, empty out your gym bag. The moment you finish a file on your computer, you're not done until you clean up all the project files, all right? Now, I know this is like kind of like getting far out there, like, dude, this guy just asked a question about like turning his life around. This is what turns your life around. You fucking get organized. You fucking start working clean. You start doing things and you start organizing things and creating working procedures. Like when I make videos now, I got like a checklist. Every fucking video, I write the video name at the top of like this analog sheet of paper I print out, and I go check, check, check. I look, this is my working procedure I created for myself so I don't forget anything. So I don't go, oh yeah, I forgot to do that, or I don't feel stressed about it. It's right there. You can do that for a lot of different things, including cooking, working out, cleaning. Taxes is a big one. Okay, so taxes used to stress the shit out of me until finally I did them and I wrote down every single thing I was doing along the way, and then I created a working procedure just because I logged every single thing I did while I was doing them. Now, taxes this year are going to be really easy for me, and monthly taxes for my business take me about 45 minutes instead of 10 hours of worrying about it before I do it like I did before. I don't worry about it anymore. I just get it done on the 1st or the 3rd of every month when I have to. All because I got organized, I began working clean, and I just got my shit together. So that's what you need to do, man. You just need to look at everything in your life, get your ducks in a row through those type of actions, and see things for the way they are. Because if you don't, we sort of blow things out of proportion. We think they're harder than they are. But when you get them down on paper, when you start working clean, cleaning up after your fucking self as you work, and figuring out the most efficient working procedures for every single thing you do in your life, and then it's just like you just see it. It's just like, oh, I'm not going to sit here and put this off for 3 days and worry about it, and it's going to spoil my mood and hurt my relationship with my wife and my friends and shit. I'm just going to fucking fix it. I'm just going to make it into something I can see, and then, oh, okay, it's that again. Here, I'm going to pull out this working procedure. I'm just going to do it. Boom! I just fucking kill it, all right? That has been helping me shitloads in the past few months. It's just being more like that type of guy, just more organized like that. So that's what I suggest you do. Okay, so hope that helps you guys understand, this rah-rah motivational listen to really heavy music and take some pre-workout, and you're just gonna spin around in circles because, that's not really what it takes unless you know exactly what you're doing, and you don't know exactly what you're doing until you get organized. Okay, so comment below again, more questions, because again, like I said, the reason I haven't done a Q&A video sooner than now, again, is because I didn't know where your questions were. I just sort of dug around. Also, subscribe to my channel because, look, some cool shit's coming. I'm moving soon, and if you guys are in the Charlotte area, let me know. We can be friends. And I'm having some special guests come in. All right, so not to give away the secret just yet, but you're gonna like who I'm going to be inviting to my house pretty soon to hang out and shoot awesome fucking videos. You don't wanna come in 3 weeks later having not subscribed to my channel and be like, wow, fuck, I missed this, didn't I? You're gonna wanna see it, all right? And a lot of other cool things, because I'm collaborating with a lot of other guys in this industry that I'm really excited about, who are really excited to work with me, and I just need to move and get that set up and get that whole process finished, and then I'm gonna start traveling around, collaborating with some of your favorite people in the fitness industry, and let me know. I can ask some questions for them as we go. I'll let you know who I'm going to be working with, when, and then you guys can be like, hey, ask them this, or hey, do this with them, and maybe I can, yeah. Also, please answer my question about the live feed thing at the beginning of the video I asked you about, because, I'm always looking for ways to improve my YouTube channel. Working pretty hard on it, as you guys can see, increase my posting frequency. I do work about 4 hours total on these videos a day, whether it's through editing or filming or just thinking about, the next thing. So if you got video ideas, let me know. Trying to gauge you guys a little bit more, see if we can kind of cut through this invisible barrier here of me on this side. Let's connect, guys. Okay, and subscribe. End screen right here. Subscribe, to hit the subscribe button there.